Well, with those laws being changed, you end up actually getting out in 2020. You called it a miracle from God.
No, I got out December the 23rd of 19.
Okay.
That right before the pandemic. And 20.
Got it. So you end up getting out, but then you end up going back because you tested positive for weed?
Listen, when I got out, I was, going to the schools, working, got a job. Never had a job in my life, but I come straight out, I got a job. Then the pandemic hit. So I'm still working during the pandemic. I'm talking, speaking to people, doing this speaking engagement. Me and my PO, we started getting into it because they started trying to send me to all these doctors. So the doctors tell me to get on the therapeutic of marijuana for my PTSD, schizophrenic, and all this. So okay, I'm like, all right, I get on that. Soon my PO asked me, did I get my medicine? I tell her, yeah. Took it on urine. Boop, I got it dirty. Locked me up. And they gave me 3 years.
Okay, before you got locked up again, how did it feel to be out after 27 years? Because the whole world is different at this point. You got cell phones, you got social media, Michael Jackson's dead. Like Prince is gone. All this stuff that you're used to is just not in the world anymore.
And what really got me for real was I went to the mall. I got straight off the plane, I flew from Tennessee to Atlanta, from Atlanta to New Orleans, went in the mall. But when I left the mall, I went to Walmart. Right? It's 1 o'clock in the morning, Walmart wide open. And I had been hearing about how people, they walk around in pajamas in Walmart. That was really got me. Then I seen that big old TV on that wall back there. I thought there was a movie. So I'm started telling, my sons them, hey, my son Smooth already breathing out there. They can't stand him. Listen, I'm telling him, I'm like, Smooth, look at this here. What is this here? He's like, Pop, that's a TV. I said, man, that's a movie screen. So everybody else laughing. So I'm like, man, y'all, now they got me like, now y'all laughing, but that is not no TV. But that was a TV, actually, and it wasn't nothing but a 75-inch screen, But, man, it was just a blessing by God, man. But Vlad, I picked up so quick to, it sometimes it's overwhelming, and I used to find myself sometimes, man, I have to call my mom, because, and I had to ask, like, why is this happening to me? Why? It was just so much, so quick, and it was everything good. You understand what I'm saying? I wasn't looking over my shoulder. I'm riding, the police pulling on side me, waving at me. I'm waving back at them, and but I'm still nervous because when I walk in stores, there's so many people, and they coming from so many directions, and I got people shaking my hand, glad to see me. People I don't even know you, So it was a blessing to me though, and I thank God every day. So when I did go back, I promise you, man, it took a lot out of me when I went back. That whatever was left in me, that was on that side, it removed it. That sentence, that 3 years violation, what they gave me, it really changed it changed my whole perspective on me. Before I went back, I still cared about what somebody said about me. I still cared how people, talk about me. They got little guys get on here, they be beefing with my son. They call me rats and this and that. You know what I mean? Hey, you don't even know me or nothing about me. But that used to bother me, But after I go back to that violation and really sit down and think about, hey, man, why would you even, something like that can affect you? Look where you done been at and look where you done came at and look where you trying to be at. If Jesus Christ accept being talked about, why you can't, And then Trump don't care what nobody say about him because he's still being Trump. So, I don't care no more. That's all I'm saying.
Well, how many kids do you have right now?
I have 11 living because I had 12. One of my sons passed back in like 20.
Oh, what happened?
Gun violence. gun violence, you know.
So one of your sons gets killed, and you did 27 years, so you basically missed out on the raising of all your kids.
That's right. And
How bad do you feel about that situation?
I feel real bad, you know, and I go through it right now today because it hurts me so to the point that, you know, I be having to call my kids. I understand they grown now. They have their own life. You know what I mean? But, you know, and I explains to them over and over. I understand, you know, everything that was my fault. I did that. I left y'all out here. You know, I made that choice. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, sometimes I don't figure from some of them, I don't get the full chance. You know, everybody, they love their daddy, woo, woo, woo. But I be having to call a bunch of them, some of them so much. You know what I'm saying? Why do I have to call you all the time to talk to you? You know, call me sometime. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, man, there's some fathers that's in them prisons, man. Hey, we was doing what we did, but, you know, it was our choice. But a lot of times we was taking care of our kids too now. But, man, they don't look at it that way, though, man. It's a new generation, man, on how. Because I loved my daddy. Even though my daddy was in prison, I was old enough to go see him. I went seeing him. Whatever he needed, I made sure he had it. You know what I'm saying? And my daddy out here today, and I be there with him. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, it's a hard thing, man, being in prison. And then my kids, like you say, Vlad, my kids was babies, so I don't hold nothing against them. Only thing I be saying is just, you know, give me a little more time with you, you know what I mean? Because like the one that left, you know, I can't be mad at that, you know, because that was my choice. And we all got a date to leave here. So we supposed to live to the fullest. That's what means live your life to the fullest, you know, and be ready. So my son that left, I thank God for them the 8 months that he gave me with him. You know what I mean? Because he gave me 8 good months with him to get to know him and for him to get to know me before he left here. So, and I wish I get, you know, keep building that relationship. That's what I'm trying to do with the kids that's still here and my grandkids, man. Yeah, you know.
Well, your son got killed, and then the killer's dad got killed. And they're trying to blame you for that.
Yeah, but that was the streets. You know what I'm saying? And they just hurry up, but you know, all that folk, you know, it cleared itself up, you know, or whatever. But that's the same way it was, you know, for years. Now every time something happened, my name always pop up. You know what I mean? And I can understand that because that's the life I lived. You know, if you take one of mine, I'm gonna take one of yours. You know, that's the mentality that I used to have is what I try to tell people. I'm not who I used to be. I am who I am. I can't change that. You know, I'm just not that same person. You know, so that's another thing that the court was trying to use too, you know, with that, you know, but yeah, that wasn't nothing, man, you know. My son, you know, he in heaven, you know.
Well, at this point, all the crime is behind you. You're a regular citizen now. You're working jobs. You found God. But when you look back on what you did, you made over $1 million during the crack era, but you actually regret the destruction that you caused. You said the crack game was good to hustlers, but bad to the streets. Look at all the lives that I destroyed. When you look back on that, do you wish that you had done things differently?
You know, I ask myself that over and over and I don't know what part of my life that I could have made different though. So if I say, well, dog, I can go to 89, if I could change 89, you see what I'm saying? What about 80? What about 79? Because if I could change what happened in 79, it would have never happened in 1989. But then I wouldn't be who I am right now today. I wouldn't have them lovely kids and grandkids that I have right now today if I could change it. And do I regret it? No. I can't regret nothing that I did because I can't change it. It didn't already happen. You know, if I could constantly tell you, I'm sorry, but it still happened. I still hurt you. I still affected you. You know what I'm saying? So only thing I'm trying to do now is just move forward and not continue to live in my past. And I ask people not to continue to look at me from my past. Take, for instance, you know, trying to put this documentary together, putting this movie together. See who I was, but then see who I am right now today. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, everything that I did then, it's still part of what's going on today. But because I did it and became who I am now, it can show you could do these things. You know what I'm saying? You know, so yeah, that's where I'm at, Vlad.
Well, 38 Flav, man, appreciate we finally got a chance to do this. And congratulations on turning your life around.
Yes,
I don't
sir.
think that you're going to go, it doesn't seem like you're going to go back to prison ever again.
No,
It seems
sir.
like you've learned all the lessons you needed to learn. You've changed your life around. You're doing something positive. And ultimately, I think you're going to show a lot of people, especially Baton Rouge, that although you were doing it one way before, you could turn things around, because Baton Rouge is still messed up. Baton
really
Rouge
is.
still has a very high homicide rate. It's like 46.1 homicides per 100,000 residents, which is way above the national average. For example, Compton is 20 per 100,000. Atlanta's 33.8. Jacksonville, which is crazy, is only 8.6. So things are still bad in Baton Rouge, but hopefully things will improve over time.
And that's why, you know, Vlad, right now, again, I'm in the mix. I'm trying, you know, find me some donations and some assistance for this. I'm trying to open up this snack shack and cafe, and it's like an after school spot for the youth. You know what I'm saying? To be able to educate them and bring the ones that are around, man. As far as I got, you know, some good pastors. I'm talking about that still preaching the word. I got some good teachers. I got some doctors. I got attorneys that's willing. Whatever I have going on, they're gonna assist me with it. You know what I mean? But I know that I need a surrounding to put them in, you know, and that's what I'm at right now trying to do.
That's what it is, man. And, you know, this interview really got triggered because I mentioned your name to Boosie last time I was doing this interview. And I said, you know, Flav, oh, absolutely. That's a Baton Rouge legend right there. So I'm like, okay, I got to do this interview. So you can thank Boosie for this, man, once again.
Man. Hey, man, I mess with Boo, man. I mess with Young Hatch. You know it. I'm planning on going out there and do a little fishing before it get cold. I ain't gonna let him get away from me. But see, he don't want to put that money on them no more, right? You know, I told him, put the bag on their head, because they say he has some little prizes right there. I would come out there and throw that old fishing pole out there then. I'll catch me some of the bags.
Man. That's what it is.
Yes,
so, Flav,
sir.
man, I appreciate you telling your story, man. Wish you all the best.
Yes, sir.
Until next time.
Anytime, man, anytime.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Until next time.
Yes,
Peace.
sir. Peace.